everybody, it's Michelle, and I'm out on a bit of a, what looks like to be a failed adventure. I decided this weekend that I wanted to get out and do my first overnight, and this is what I am looking at the moment. So it's pouring with rain, it's only 13 degrees Celsius outside. There is a slight thunderstorm warning I noticed before I left, which I thought would be okay, but it's looking a little bit ominous. So we're just going to see how it goes. Might just be hiking out to the hut and back so that it's not a completely wasted trip, but maybe no overnight tonight. So I think I've just decided to hike out to the hut and back again. The weather is quite bad and I don't really fancy my first experience overnighting in a hut being one where it's not in the best weather. But I'll just use it as a bit of a training hike with my massive pack on. It just looks so ridiculously big. So we'll just see how we go. I'm pretty exhausted already. I'm already exhausted. Just came up that hill here. I gotta go up this bit too. My pack weighs about 11 kilograms, just over 11, and it's top heavy because all my light gear is my overnight gear. So I packed it at the bottom because in all the videos and things I watch they always suggest to pack the stuff you need last out of your pack down the bottom obviously. So, and all the heavy stuff like my food and my water and my electronics and all that sort of stuff is all on top. So at the moment if I bend over I am toppling over. But anyway, and it's so cold. It's it said it was about 13 degrees here at the moment and it feels much colder, and I've only got some very thin gloves on. So, but I got to get hiking now because otherwise I'm not going to make it back down before dark. Decided to go back to handheld, no gimbal. Oh dear. So the track that I'm on is the round the mountain track, and at some point up here there's a little junction where I head off to the hut, Blyth Hut, and oh my goodness, so many very steep steps to climb. Look at that. You see that? You can't really see. So the round the mountain track is a 4 or 5 day circular route around Mount Ruapehu, which is quite difficult by all accounts, but this track so far is well formed, but there's lots of unbridged stream crossings and all that sort of stuff. I'm on another uphill section at the moment, so I'm just trying to trudge along. It's the current track, and then that there is the old Blyth track. You can probably just see it winding away. Don't know that I fancy that, so we'll head off that way. And it still says an hour and 15 minutes, so I've only been walking for 15 minutes. The weather is absolutely packing it in. I don't even know if you can see me. There's probably water all over the screen. Ah, the joys of hiking in New Zealand, eh? It's a good job my wet weather gear is somewhat waterproof. There's waterfalls. Pretty cool. That's where I've just come from. Look down here. And this is my problem. Trail continues over there. So I think that's where this little adventure ends, because I'm definitely not prepared today to cross an unbridged stream. Probably just going to turn around and head back to the car. That's probably for the best as well, because the rain is really packing it in now. So, and like I've already decided I wasn't going to stay at the hut anyway, so never mind. Bit of a failed trip, but at least I got out on trail. Now that I'm away from that stream and it's a bit quieter, I'm a bit disappointed. What is that sticking out of my pack? It's my water bladder. Oh my goodness. So, while we're on that subject, I mean, a good thing really that I'm not going any further. I mean, my pack is not packed properly. I'm not confident enough in these sorts of conditions to have stayed overnight. I mean, for a start with, a lot of these huts have fireplaces and I've never lit a fire in my life. So if I would have been the only person at the hut, and I'm pretty sure I would have been, then I probably would have froze all night. I'm pretty prepared when it comes to my clothing. Like, I've got wool layers, thermals and things on, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get hypothermia or anything like that, but you just wonder, and this is an alpine environment, and whereas it's not supposed to be blowing a gale today, it could change. And if it did that and I was in the hut and I hadn't been able to get my clothes dry because I don't know how to light a fire, then I'm in trouble. So it's probably a good thing I've turned around. I mean, look at this. This is not how you pack a pack. I know better than this. It's just all bulges. Let's have a look. I don't want to get everything wet, but oh, my fingers. I mean, that's not even rolled down properly, so you know, that's not going to work, is it? It feels like this is leaking. I don't think it is. No, I think it's okay. So, I think while the rain is holding off, I'm going to try and repack that quickly. To be honest, I have been having problems with my alcohol, and problems that I am sure have nothing to do with the alcohol and everything to do with me. But it took me weeks to get it set up properly, and then when I thought I had it set up properly, it wasn't, and like the frame seems to be at an offset angle all the time, and it's got something to do with the length of the straps and the tension that's being put on it. And I think I've managed to sort it out. When I was packing it up a couple of weeks back, I thought that maybe I'd managed to sort it, but I'm not really able to tell today. Well, it's all packed not very well, so anyway, let's sort this out and then get moving before I get too cold. I've just been telling everybody I'm out for a training walk. Those people in the distance there, I'm sure they're all thinking, oh my goodness, she's got a humongous backpack on. She must be so hardcore. Yes, that's right. I am hardcore. I just came out for a 20-minute walk out and back with my huge backpack on that weighs 11 kilograms. Oh dear. I'm just not well fated for these overnight hikes. This is the second time I've tried an overnight, and both times it has absolutely poured with rain like this. So that doesn't bode very well, does it? And look at this! It's still sticking out! The gods are not smiling on me today. Do I look happy? I feel happy. So I've decided that I'm just going to hike back to the car, head back up the road towards the ski field, and there's another little waterfall hike there, which I'm going to go and have a look at because I've been there before. I went there on a school trip once. It's the place where they filmed the Gollum fishing scene in The Lord of the Rings. And when I get there, I'll show you and you'll see what I mean. Oh, these are so steep. Look how far down that is. Blyth Hut is probably not the best hut to start with. I don't know where my next choice is going to be, but I think it'll be one that's on, maybe even on a great walk somewhere. Well, that's going to be expensive. But yeah, well, maybe I'm just going to jump straight into it and just do the northern circuit. I want to do that before the end of the month, before it starts to get really cold. But yeah, I think picking this hut, it looked simple to me. I just assumed it was going to be a relatively easy hour-and-a-half's walk out there, but being on the Round the Mountain track, which is already quite an advanced track anyway, obviously there are unbridged crossings, which I didn't honestly think I was going to come to one that quickly. Oh. Thought I could hear something. I think it's just my coat. I already had to get over my fear of mysterious people following me down the track. Ghosts and stuff. There's no one behind now, right? Yep. And now I'm hearing noises. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do on the TA? I often find myself thinking that. What am I going to do on the TA when I am hiking solo? Oh, big step. And I might not see people for days, let alone a few minutes. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to find out. Can you see that? There's sun shining on my face. Oh, you can't really tell that. Yeah, there's lots of sun, no sun. Lots of sun, no sun. The difference a few meters in elevation makes, eh? Okay, so this is what I was talking about Now, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you should recognize this straight away. This little bit here.
Hey, stinker, don't go getting too far ahead.
So I'm on my way home now, and I've had a little bit of time to think. I just found myself getting really frustrated. This is now the second time that I've headed out onto a trail with the intention of staying overnight in the wilderness, and it's not happened. It takes a lot for me to step out of the door and make a decision to go and do an overnight, and for it to now twice have basically turned into a bad idea, is a little bit exhausting and frustrating basically. So I think that the decision I've made at the moment is that, I'm just going to use a slightly different set of criteria when I'm choosing huts now, and I'm going to ring dock officers basically and just ask the basic questions before I go out. It wasn't really difficult. I could have crossed the stream. I mean, now that I've done my river safety course, I wouldn't have had any trouble crossing that stream. Might have been a little bit tricky, but it was all the other factors that went into it, and it was the fact that I couldn't see the dry track where it emerged from the stream on the other side. I could only see a pole marker basically. I had already gotten my thermal wet, and I didn't know whether or not there were going to be adequate facilities or if I could get a fire started at the hut in order to dry it, and considering this is my only layer that would have stopped me from getting hypothermia, then I didn't really want to get it any more wet than it needed to be. Obviously I hadn't told anybody that there was going to be an unbridged stream crossing, so they wouldn't have known that was going to potentially be an issue. Ideally, if I'd have known that there were going to be unbridged river crossings, I would have brought a second pair of hiking socks in case these ones got completely saturated. So my point is that I would have prepared completely differently if I'd known that. And I'm getting a bit sick and tired of saying, if I'd have known this, then I would have done this. I'm just trying to figure out how I can avoid misinformation in the future. Because there's no guidebook on this sort of stuff. You just have to feel it out. And I think a lot of it is just your experience. You learn by experience, which is all very well, but if you get put off by the experience in the first place, you never learn. So I think it's all about just keeping on, keeping your common sense intact, if you've got it, which I'm not sure that I do, and just being sensible. Just one of those things where you can never trust the weather, that's for sure. And the weather is just something you got to put up with in New Zealand.